It's my 6-month benzo-free update. So I hope you all are hanging in there and surfing all the waves that come your way. It's been a while since I've done an update video for you guys. And guess what? I'm celebrating my 6 months being free from the chains of the prescription drug Klonopin. So as you know, I have written this because I can't remember everything, so I'm going to be reading from this, so I hope that's okay. If you see me looking down, that's what I'm doing. I never actually thought after I jumped that I would even be here to make this video. But this journey has really shown me my strength and also my weaknesses. It's important to acknowledge both. My weakness is anxiety, which I've suffered from since a little girl, but I'm sure y'all are wondering if I'm healed. That's the big question, right? I don't want to disappoint, but I'm not actually healed by 100% yet, and I'm learning to accept that. Healing from benzo withdrawal sometimes could be a long process, but that process actually only makes us stronger in the end. I would say that maybe I'm around 50% healed. A lot of the symptoms have passed and came right back around, but the biggest that I'm still dealing with is inner agitation or akaesthesia and intrusive thoughts. It's kind of, akaesthesia is bad in the fact that I kind of have inner akaesthesia, and it kind of feels like inner torture. It's kind of let up a little bit, which is great, but the kind of feels like during the process I've gotten PTSD from all this, because I can be having an okay day and then the flashbacks come when I start to feel agitated or feel the akaesthesia creeping up on me. These are very scary as the agitation has been so strong at times. It's also, I've been suffering from suicidal thoughts. They come and they go, and I work through them. Although it has lightened up a lot, I still get inner agitation where I feel this doom come over my whole body, and it changes my mood to dark and depressed, angry thoughts like, will I be this way forever? Is this my new normal? I get so angry often about having to go through this process, I want it to be over with. This has been one of the most horrific things that I've been through, next to the death of losing my 7-year-old brother at the age of 11 to a mobile home fire, which left me with anxiety, PTSD, and depression. That is when my life really took a turn. I learned some really tough lessons at a young age that I should never have had to learn, but I've dealt with that now, and here I am dealing with this. It's painful because I want my old life back. I want the person who I fought so hard to be to come back, and I keep faith that one day she will return. She will return because I'm fighting with all that I have to get her back. Tough times last. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. I still have issues with my vision. It gets blurry, and the lights will be so bright that sometimes I can hardly see, so I often wear sunglasses out to counteract the effects of my vision. Loud noise also bothers me at times. Computer screens still really bother me. About a month ago, I had a doctor's appointment and I had an intense panic attack where I was there, and it made me want to run out the building and never come back. It made me cry. But I persevered and stayed and saw the doctor's appointment through. That is another part of all this, is that I don't trust doctors at all. I don't trust when they prescribe me medicine to treat things. It brings me intense fear to even think about going to them at all and asking for help. After all, it was a doctor or a psychiatrist who prescribed me a benzodiazepine, which I took as prescribed for only 3 months, PRN, which is as needed about 2 to 3 times per week, before I developed problems. I try to stay busy, been going on nature walks in the park, and been sticking with it seems to help the agitation and keep it minimized. I've been doing it since month 4 in April. I'm very proud of myself because it's not always easy to find the energy to do that, especially since I'm still suffering with some mild fatigue. To be honest though, a lot of the physical symptoms I have gone away, and I'm left with a lot of mental symptoms. There is a pandemic called COVID-19 happening too during all this, which I feel has complicated my withdrawal. I have general anxiety normally, so worrying about my family getting COVID absolutely terrifies me, and I ruminate on it sometimes, even though I try not to. And I'm sorry if this video is a little lengthy, but I just want to make sure I cover everything and get all the information out there for you guys and document this. It's important that the doctors and everyone know what they have done to us. Also, seems like a part of this healing process is increased anxiety, which I have been getting after going back to restaurants after they open back up after being closed down for about a month and a half or longer. People always ask me how I treated my anxiety before Klonopin. I would use positive self-talk, read self-help books, and do exposure therapy, which means going places that would increase my anxiety and talking myself through it or running from the situation if it became too tough, which I embarrassingly did a few times. But anxiety has increased for me, and I'm dealing with it the same as I have before, and I'm adding exercise and meditation when needed. There are so many things that I'm able to do that I am proud of, that a lot of people cannot do during this time. Like I still drive, I cook, I go to the grocery store, and I am also able to provide myself with self-care. I can read a little bit, my attention span is increasing, I can tolerate a TV show better than I could before, so maybe a 30-minute TV show. Honestly, I feel like I'm left with a brain injury. I'm making so much progress even though it's really slow. Sometimes I get an inner voice that tells me that hope is lost and tells me to give up and just be done with it all. It tells me this quite often. The dark thoughts fill my head and it tries to bring me down. I do fight back, and I also succumb to them and break down and cry. Hey, you can't be strong all the time. And during the times that I can't be strong, my husband and daughter always know the right words to say to lift me back up and keep my head in the game. During this process, you may hear me talk about windows and waves. Waves, let's just say windows, are like when you feel back to your normal self. Windows, well, let's see. Yeah, windows are when you feel back to your normal self, like maybe how you used to feel. You might have a good day, not a lot of symptoms. Waves come and like all the bad symptoms come and sweep you off your feet and knock you down. So I've totally learned the windows and waves pattern of this and learned to get used to it. It's the only choice you have, right? Has this been easy? Hell no. Will I ever stop fighting to get my life back? No, never. Because it doesn't matter how long it takes. What matters is that you never stop trying. Slow progress is better than no progress. Also, I've had some dizziness that came back and stayed with me for like 2 weeks, and that was really scary. But I took a few doses of over-the-counter Bonine and rode the storm out. It was terrifying, but it passed. It always seems when I get a symptom, I get this dread that that the symptom is here to stay, even though I know it'll eventually leave. I always dread it when they cycle. My point is, I'm getting better. I'm going to restaurants despite my anxiety. I'm walking despite the fatigue. I'm fighting to stay alive despite the agony of benzo withdrawal. But I know that every one of us heals eventually. We just have to remain strong like a soldier and refuse to let it break us down. During my breaks, I try to help others who message me to provide them with help, tapering, or just talk to them and bring them up and tell them to never lose hope. I have my freedom, most importantly, and I will never go back to what broke me. I've heard some people say, well, I might have to stay on benzos forever, or it's too hard to stop. The withdrawals are too intense. And while I'm not judging you, that medication can eventually build up a tolerance and stop working in your body. Your doctor can take you off of it unexpectedly or cold turkey you or do a rapid taper, and then you will be left begging for mercy. So make your choices wisely. Benzodiazepines are dangerous, plain and simple. So I'd rather come off like I did at my own pace and be in control over my withdrawal than have a doctor snatch me off. Never place a lot of faith in doctors or the pharmaceutical companies. They are not in it for a cure, they're in it for the money. If you currently are on a benzodiazepine and you want to get off, research it and come off safely. You don't have to be a prisoner to this drug if you don't want to be. If I can do it, so can you. Take your time, don't worry about how fast others are going, go at your own pace. Slow but steady wins the race. And if you are off and going through hell, hold on. I promise you it's hard now, but it can't rain on us forever. And when you think about giving up, just know the world wouldn't be the same without you. This about sums up my 6-month update. I would like to say, like always, there's 4 people in my life that has made this process so much easier. That is my husband, daughter, dad, and cousin. They are my support system. And I'm thankful for all they have done for me. Thanks for listening. I will leave you with a few quotes about overcoming anxiety. You don't have to control your thoughts. You have to stop letting them control you. Dan Millman. I am not a victim. No matter what I've been through, I'm still here. I have a history of victory. Author unknown. Be a warrior, not a worrier. Author unknown. I will conquer because I will not allow any panic to kill another day of my life. It's my life. My anxiety can't have it anymore. Richard Lucas. Please like this video and subscribe if you like my channel. I appreciate the support that everyone has shown to me. It means a lot. And until next time, take care. Peace.